Good day, you who are beloved by God. I hope and trust you are well and finding in each day a reason to rejoice. For our God is a good God, and He blesses those who put their trust in Him. Your presence here today is an indication that you do put your faith in Him. And not only that, it shows me that you want your faith to grow. God will grant you that growth, for He deeply desires your reliance on Him. He will not deny the heart that truly seeks Him. Here's my thought for today. Today, life has become so terribly serious, don't you think? I don't need to go into the reasons why. You know them as well as I. But too many people put too much emphasis on things that don't really matter. Not everything is a life or death issue, you know. My prayer for you and me and the rest of society is that we will all just lighten up a bit and not take ourselves so seriously. You don't need to put more pressure on yourself than you already face. When I was a much younger preacher, just out of seminary, I had just finished preaching the sermon at one of the small country churches I served. The end of the service had come, and I was about to pronounce the benediction, but what I intended to say was not exactly what I said. One of the lines I intended to say in that benediction was, "May the grace and peace of Christ be with you." But somehow the words grace and peace got merged in my mouth, and what I actually said was, "May the grease of Christ be with you." I was, of course, mortified by my mistake, but I quickly finished the rest of the benediction and quickly walked down the aisle, hoping that no one noticed my obvious mistake. That hope was dashed when a little girl in the congregation commented far too loudly, "Mommy, he said grease." Well, what a disaster. Well, that's what I thought at the time, but was it really? Was there really any harm done except a slight bruise to my ego? Actually, no. And soon I was able to laugh at my own mistake. After all, who couldn't use some holy lubrication? That's right, give me some of that Jesus grease. Laughter, my friends, is a gift of God. It's good medicine as well. So said Dr. William F. Fry, then a professor of psychology at Stanford University, back in 1964 when that famous line was first spoken. He then went on to suggest that laughter should be the subject of serious scientific study. Since then, laughter has been proven to release endorphins in our body that aid in fighting diseases and also reduces stress, which, in the long run, increases our lifespan. Not only does laughter reduce our stress hormones, it also increases immune cells and infection-fighting antibodies, thus improving your resistance to disease. And that may be helpful, especially in these times. This is by God's design, of course. He made us to have a sense of humor as a means to improve our lives. Whenever I made a pastoral call, I did my best to keep things upbeat while still showing concern. If I could get a smile or even a laugh from the patient, then it was a successful visit, which would end with a hopeful prayer for healing. In matters of faith, we are dealing with issues which have eternal consequences for our souls. That's serious business for sure. But the import of our faith is no reason to abandon our joy, which is often expressed in laughter. Psalm 126 begins, "When the Lord restored the fortunes of Zion, we were like those who dreamed. Our mouths were filled with laughter, our tongues with songs of joy." Laughter is a wonderful expression of faith. Sarah famously laughed when she heard that God was giving her a son in her old age. As a result, her son was named Isaac, which means laughter. But even the word laughter doesn't convey the lighthearted nature of his name to those who heard it. Imagine if you named your kid Chuckles or Giggles. Then you can imagine the effect on those who heard Isaac's name back in that time. Oh, who says God doesn't have a sense of humor? So, dear friends, don't take things so seriously. Lighten up. When something goes wrong, find the humor in it if you can. Give yourself permission to laugh at yourself. Besides, nothing can ever go so wrong that God's grace cannot fix it. With that perspective, you can keep the smiles coming and laugh off your troubles. For the joy of the Lord is yours for the keeping. God bless you one and all. Keep laughing, and I'll see you soon.